Hey, welcome to TaurusTalks, the show that is not about zodiac signs.
Today we're talking about unpopular opinions.
I always hate the term unpopular opinion because I'm always right. So,
I always hate the term unpopular opinion because nobody's opinions are ever unpopular and it's really annoying.
yeah.
But ours are actually going to be unpopular.
Mine are hot takes.
What is your first hot take since apparently there's a difference?
Okay, I'm gonna start with my less crazy ones. First
Okay.
off, Harry Potter is the worst movie franchise. I'm not arguing.
I did not enjoy the first book and that's why I never got into Harry Potter because the first book was boring.
The movies are boring. And I
I
don't
never watched the movies because I wanted to read the books first. And then the books were boring. I'm like, if the books are boring, why would the movies be better? Because the movies are never better. So why would the movie be better?
exactly. So yeah, I hate them. People are always like, I like Harry Potter. I'm like, burn alive. Because I
He said, burn alive.
it is that
You're
serious.
so dramatic.
I'm the least dramatic person I know.
Yeah, okay, whatever you say.
And I'm
Okay.
not listening to me.
Um I can really argue on that one because I agree. So on to mine. Uh wait, let me see if I have anything that's like not super bad first. Okay, James Charles is not a bad singer. Like he can improve, but like he loves doing it and people bully him for no reason.
People
People
bully
are
him because
so
he's
mean.
James Charles.
Yeah, they're so mean. For what? What did he ever do to them?
Literally, they're like, "Oh, but his scandal." Like he literally didn't choose to get in any scandal he's been in.
Like the only scandal I really remember besides like the Tati stuff, which as soon as it came out, I was like, really? I don't know. I didn't really believe it at first, and turns out I was right to not believe it. But the only other thing I remember was like the white face, the white ghost face, bad makeup thing.
Yeah,
And that's like, who cares? That's not like a real scandal. Are you gonna hate him for that?
yeah.
Like,
People
it's
who
not that
like
big of a
it.
deal.
That's actually a different point on here. That's actually not even an unpopular opinion. I feel like.
What did
Sorry.
you say?
I was just gonna say that leads me into one of my next topics, which is that people get offended over things that we do, that celebrities do. Like,
Did you just say we when I was talking about celebrities?
no, no. I mean, in the sense that people get offended over the same things they do in their daily life the second a celebrity does it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They get mad when celebrities are humanized.
It's really weird.
Yeah, and it's like they are literally just a person. You do this exact same thing every 30 seconds, yet you're mad that your favorite person's doing it.
Yeah, like calm down.
But it's just really crazy to me how offended people get over things that don't matter. There are so many things in this world to be offended by, but we're ignoring them to be like, I hate that you drink chocolate milk on a Thursday. Like,
It's sad because it's accurate.
exactly.
I'm
Like,
so bad at building. Just like a side note,
LOL. Stop doing that, Devin.
actually. What is wrong with you?
I'm controlling myself.
Another celebrity one. Charlie D'Amelio is overrated, but she's also overhated.
But
Just
she's also
because
a
she
child.
rose to fame from practically nothing doesn't mean she deserves to be bullied for practically nothing.
She didn't ask to get famous
Exactly.
in the slightest.
They're treating her like she actually did something bad to get famous and doesn't deserve it. Like she
Exactly.
didn't ask. You people made her famous. Like leave her alone.
Exactly. And it's the same people who make her famous who like lurk on all her videos that are like, oh my god, Charlie, you suck. Like, get a hobby.
Exactly. Get a
Get a
life.
hobby.
I swear. And like whenever my makeup videos do well, people comment about Charlie. They're like, Charlie could never. How is Charlie famous and you're not? Like, why are you bringing Charlie into it? Can I just like do my own thing? She
Exactly.
has nothing to do with me. Like,
Exactly.
please let her live.
It's so irritating that people do that all the time. Like
It
on
really
every single post that people are doing like talented stuff on, they're like, oh, Charlie could never. Like, let her be.
exactly
She's a child. Which one's less of a hot take? Okay, I'll talk about Chick-fil-A. People are really dramatic over Chick-fil-A.
like in what aspect?
As in that they're the worst place on the entire earth and that they're founding the devil. Like, People go so far with Chick-fil-A that they slander all the workers there. Like, it is such an issue. And I agree that they are literally homophobia capital of the world. They donate to like conversion therapy, which is completely against me. But that does not mean I'm gonna go around and like harass people who work there.
I don't nothing with Chick-fil-A. I feel like I can't comment on this.
I do eat there, and it's kind of embarrassing since I'm like, but
Since, you know.
I won't accept slander of people who work there because some people can't get a better job than that.
Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to slander the workers because I'm pretty sure most of them probably just wanted money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think I wanted to work at McDonald's when I worked at McDonald's?
Exactly. Nobody's working at Chick Fil A being like, yeah, I get to end the LGBT. Like,
Exactly. Like, make it make sense. Ew, this house is so ugly. I hate it.
and every time I see people on like TikTok being like, if you work at Chick Fil A, you deserve nothing. I bet you support Trump. I'm like, y'all need to quit.
They're just trying to live.
Like,
Please.
they're trying to make money just like you are, just like I am. Like, I almost worked at Chick Fil A. Like,
Oh, anyways,
one really close to me. That's why.
I'm never working fast food again. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't plan on it. I like working retail unless it's at my store.
Okay. So Machine Gun Kelly is an amazing artist, and people only discredit him because of Eminem. And this is coming from an Eminem fan. I've been an Eminem fan for so long. I literally remember asking my mom to play My Dad's Gone Crazy when I was on my way to kindergarten. So you can't say it's because I'm not an Eminem fan.
No, honestly, I agree because they just want to compare them.
Yeah. And he's really versatile.
Machine Gun Kelly is really talented.
He is. And he plays multiple instruments. And Eminem is like, I feel like Eminem is better at rapping. I mean, I don't really like his new stuff as much, but he's definitely better at rapping. That's just, it is what it is. But at the same time, Machine Gun Kelly's more versatile. So you could say one's more talented than the other, but it really depends on how you're looking at it.
I
I
look
feel
really good today. Sorry.
okay. Okay.
My last two are kind of like really big, but I'll start with the last big one.
I have like a lot more.
Okay, yeah, I only have two more because mine are like kind of really big with these two.
Okay.
It's kind of inspired off what you posted on your story either yesterday or a couple days ago.
Okay.
Relationship preference based on race is just racism.
I feel like certain aspects of it is.
Yeah, I understand like the whole being like sometimes thinking one race is more attractive than the other. I guess, but
If you
never.
prefer one race over another, I feel like okay, that's just your preference. But if you say, "Oh, I like this race because this race da 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 da," that's racist. If you say, "I don't like this race," if you just say, "I don't like this race," that's racist. But if you were to say, "Oh, I just prefer white girls because white girls are this or that," then okay, that's your preference. For example, I prefer black guys because I don't have to worry about them possibly being underlyingly racist towards me,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And they just kind of understand what it's like to be black. But that's not saying I don't date white people.
Yeah,
I've dated mostly white people.
I know you have.
Yeah. So it's not like that's a preference
Yeah,
because I don't exclude them.
I think this is really big in the LGBT alphabet mafia
Out
because
for the mafia, the Skittle Squad.
yes, literally
Uh,
LGBT people are meant to be like so like oh we support everybody right, but then they don't. People of color who are in the LGBT community are like discriminated against every day, and it's humiliating to be part of this because it's horrendous how people treat them,
yeah, honestly.
especially East Asian LGBT people, despised for some reason. Like people keep trying to see them as like the bottom of the list. I'm like, why are y'all doing
Like,
this?
why?
They are top of the list to me. No, I just think the preference by race thing is huge in the LGBT community and it needs to stop because we're already a minority. Why this is why people are homophobic.
Speaking of LGBT community and yeah, trying to convince someone that they're LGBT is just as bad as queerbaiting and probably promotes queerbaiting. Yes, I am directing this towards you, Devin. Little Miss Hanaya is
And
bisexual.
Naya, you need to quit with this because this is war. When I say you are bi, it is a
And what about it?
joke. I'm not genuinely being like you need to date her.
And what about it?
Oh my god, I actually agree with a lot of it. I feel like if you are trying to force someone to like fall in love with you when they don't like you, like guys or whatever, that's a literal issue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it promotes queer baiting.
I feel like it could because if you actually end up convincing them or they think that they're convinced and then they start like doing queerbaiting activities and then people call them out and then they're like, "Oh, maybe I'm not." I don't know. I've never
Hmm.
like seen that in action. That's just like a theory in my head.
I mean, I guess I could see that. I just never seen that either.
Yeah.
But I
Like
guess that makes
theory
sense.
in my head. I just feel like it could happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like queer baiting is a really big issue in common pop culture and multimedia. I wrote an essay about it. I don't usually see a lot of queer baiting in like day to day life for me.
Yeah, it's mostly online. I don't
Yeah,
really see it in day-to-day life either.
it's mainly in movies and TV, I feel like. Especially the CW. But
Yeah, I can see that.
Riverdale.
You were obsessed with Riverdale, and I did not like that show. I
I
go as
no
far as to
longer
say I disliked it.
I liked season 1 and 2, and then I watched season 3 because I was like, you know what? Maybe it'll be good. And it
I
wasn't.
tried to watch season one, and as soon as I started, I was like, yeah, no. I already know where this is going.
Yeah. It got worse. What were we talking about?
Queer rating. I think we
Yes.
pretty much finished.
I queerbaiting is kind of like an offense. I also think queerbaiting is when you have a straight person playing an LGBT role. That needs to stop happening.
Okay, so some of these I'm really gonna get canceled for. Let's go to this one that's not too bad.
I'm really
I
afraid of what we have on this list.
I love music, okay? But I prefer singles and mixtapes over albums because when people release albums, I end up like never listening to it because I just get overwhelmed. Cuz like so much.
I okay. I have to disagree with you. I
I
hate singing.
know. I know most people would disagree, but like I don't know, for a single it's like, "Oh, I could sit and listen to this 3-minute song." But then when it's an album, it's like, mm, it's like an hour long. Maybe I'll listen to it at this time, or and then I just keep putting it off, and then I never listen to it, or I'll
See,
listen to a
that
few
makes
songs
sense.
here and there.
I want to say this now. Albums should never be over an hour. Never. Never. That is a
So
movie.
you like mixtapes then?
Well, I think an hour is really cutting it because if every song is 3 minutes and it's like an hour, that's like almost 20 songs.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
why
I like
albums
small
like
albums.
overwhelm me. They're too much. They're
I
too
really
much.
small. I think 40 minutes is a perfect album length. I'm really surprised you don't like albums.
Really? I mean, I like albums, but like when they first release, uh, I don't know. I get like overwhelmed.
I think I'm confused what the difference is between a mixtape and an album.
A mixtape is just a short album.
So like an EP.
Honestly, I don't know what an EP is.
An EP is like a small project has like 5 to 7 songs.
I think in mm, I don't know. I think it just depends on what the artist decides to call it because Ashnika just released a mixtape and let me go see what the name of it was because
Because
I've been
Brie
listening to it
Runway
like
made a
for
mixtape.
Demi Devil, and she was marketing it as a mixtape. It's 10 songs. It's 25 minutes long.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so I'm guessing a mixtape is like a little bit longer than an EP.
Meanwhile, Machine Gun Kelly's album Tickets to My Downfall, 24 songs, 1 hour and
24
3 minutes.
songs?
Yes, yes, and that's why I was overwhelmed.
Did you
I
watch
still
the
haven't listened to
interview?
every song on here fully. I've like listened to bits and pieces of every song.
That's how I was with Taylor Swift Evermore. I'm really promoting the LGBTAI. But when it first came out, I was the first person to listen to it. I literally refreshed Spotify till it came out. This one is kind of like my most controversial one.
I'm saving my most controversial one for last.
Yeah, I am too. But this is my last. Okay. Neopronouns are an insult to the trans community.
I agree.
They make a mockery of it. No one's calling you kitten, kitten self, ACAB self.
No, I agree. And ACAB self, really? You want to capitalize on that like that? Think before you do things.
Like I said, they're an insult to the trans community. They make a mockery out of everything. You can tell they're mainly for attention.
They are. And I completely agree.
It's literally upsetting because every time you see people comment being like, no one's calling you that, they're like, oh, so you're transphobic. That's not trans.
Exactly. Like, it's on the same level of the people who are like, oh, I'm an Apache attack helicopter. You're just
Exactly.
doing the same thing, except saying that you're a kitten.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. I will
And
respect they, them, he, she. I'll, if you want to be called it, I will. I mean, I don't think a lot of people want that, but I've seen some videos where people are like, I'm fine with being called it. Like, okay, then if that's what you want, cool. I don't really care. You do you. But kitten, I'm sorry, that's not happening.
yeah, and I'm not trans, so I guess I don't have the full right to this, but I know trans people who are saying it is infuriating to see people say this stuff because,
Oh, I've seen a lot of trans people say that for
yeah,
sure.
it's making a mockery, and non binary people who are kind of like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this? And it's so understandable. And I can, like I've said, I can understand homophobia in some remarks because of this. Because if that's what you think of, I would be too.
See, I feel like trans folks, when they think of the trans community, they think of those kinds of people instead of the actual trans community. People just want to be respected. Okay,
Hmm.
it's it's not hard to
And
call someone by their preferred pronouns.
I did see someone bring up gender dysphoria and how it can affect what you want to be called pronoun wise, which that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
they
I get
them,
that.
they them, z zim. Like,
Even Zim, I feel like if I were to start using them, then I could maybe get used to it. But I don't know anybody who goes by those, so I can't really say if it's comfortable for me to use or not. But it's not really about me, is it?
yeah. Also, those are what real neopronouns are.
Yeah,
That is
kitten's not even a pronoun.
they them. Like those are definition neopronouns, not the mockery.
Exactly.
And like I said, I don't have the full right to talk about this because it's not something that affects me on the daily life. But it is
We're
something that
doing
I see,
unpopular opinions, so we can talk about whatever we want.
yeah,
Plus, it's our channel, our podcast, yeah,
it's our show.
our show. Period. Okay, so these last two are probably gonna get me canceled. Why does it keep doing that? Okay. These last two are probably going to get me canceled, but so I haven't done my research on this.
Oh my
But like,
god.
when did the R slur become a slur?
It
Because like it used
always
to
has
be,
been.
but it used to be a medical term. It started as a medical term, so I don't think it's always been a slur.
So
Like,
did the
I was
slur.
literally reading my textbook the other day, my healthcare ethics textbook, and they said the word, like, just medically. Like, they weren't calling someone it, they were just, like, medically using the word because it started as a medical term. So, did it, like, when did it become a slur?
I think what's really important here is that anything can become a slur if it's used in like a derogatory way, and if it's used for like centuries as a derogatory term. I shouldn't say
Yeah,
century.
I get that. My question is just when. I'm not
See,
questioning, like, the validity of it. I'm questioning when that happened.
yeah, I honestly don't know. I hate when people use it a lot.
I'm not offended by it, but I don't have the right to be offended by it because I'm
You're
like,
neurodivergent, not neurodivergent.
I
Neuro.
am neurodivergent, but I'm not to the point where people have used it against me.
That is the
So
right term, isn't it?
I think that's the right term. I was trying to think of it because there's a few different terms. So I was like, what term do they use?
Mm-hmm.
Because it depends. Because I know people with Down syndrome, they can say it. I've seen people with Down syndrome say it, and they have spoken on it. But I don't think they fall under neurodivergent, do they?
I believe neurodivergent means you use like what would be stereotyped as normal behavior.
No, that's the opposite of neurodivergent.
Then I'm thinking of the wrong term completely.
Someone who is autistic, for example, is neurodivergent.
Okay.
And since it's a spectrum, there's a lot of people who are neurodivergent. Like, I think just based off the definitions of neurodivergent, I think I might be neurodivergent, but not so far on the spectrum, whereas I would be diagnosed as autistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It runs in my family, though.
No, that makes sense. I get you. I wish I had an answer of when it became a slur. I just know it is one, and I kind of have to respect that it is one, and I won't use it.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, I feel like regardless of if you're offended by not if you're offended by it or not, if you're not affected by it, just don't say it, cuz I feel like people could use the same logic to argue against that as they will use to argue against the N-word, and I don't really want people saying the N-word, so
That's why I've
I'm
always
just
said if it can't
I'm
be
just
used
going to stay in
against
my
you,
place and not say things that people consider slurs. Like,
yeah.
okay, if you consider that a slur and that's offensive to you, then I'm not going to say it. And
Hmm.
that's that. Why
And I
can't more people be like us? Like, just don't say it.
just
It's not
it's a
hard.
society.
Like, think of more words. There are more words. Be like
Learn
Gordon
it in your
Ramsay. Call
dictionary.
people donuts.
Literally, like if it can't be used against you, don't say it.
Exactly.
Because what are you reclaiming?
Nothing.
And white cis het people want so badly to have a slur against them.
They really do. They really do. I love how people have been saying cis is not a thing. Cis is a scientific term, is it not?
It literally is.
Like, what are you talking about? It's not a thing. Okay, so I guess we'll go to my last one. The one that I was scared to put in here. Uh, so being fat is not healthy, and that's a dangerous mentality. But it's not your place to bring it up to random people and shame them for it. And if they love their body the way they is, then let them be. Let them live. Stay in your lane, mind your own business. But again, it's a dangerous mentality to say that being fat is healthy. And I don't mean like a little chub and like being thick. I mean like obese, like, my 600-pound life. Kind of,
Mhm.
yeah,
I agree that it's nobody's place to put people down. Like you're not a dietitian,
exactly.
and there are. I'm not gonna be like. I'm not gonna deny that it's an unhealthy thing, because it is. It's just there are certain things that people can't control about them.
Exactly. And that's another reason why you should stay in your place because you don't know what's going on in people's lives.
I have family who like can gain weight very easily, but it's like very, very hard for them to lose it. I'm the opposite. I can't.
Yeah, and it could be a thyroid problem. It could be so many different health problems, and you don't know what's going on in that person's life. That's part of why I said, stay in your lane and don't shame
Mhm.
people.
That is,
I just think we shouldn't like be telling people that it's healthy. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I think we should just let people do what they want to do because it's their life, not ours.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's not that. Yeah, it is that unpopular of opinion. I'm gonna get canceled.
I think the way you said it is not bad because I get what you mean. You mean it with good intent.
I
I'm
do, but people aren't gonna take it that way.
no, I know. I think the biggest misconception with it is when people say stuff like that. People are gonna be like, "Oh, well, Hanai thinks fat is ugly."
Exactly. Like people jump to that conclusion so fast.
I truly think bigger women are gorgeous, like the
I
elites of society.
I mean, I'm not really
But I also don't like women.
attracted. Yeah, I was just about to say I don't like women, so I don't really know how to. Uh, yeah, I think that's the last thing.
Anyways, that's all. We're done.
I mean, so that's it. But okay.
Okay, fine. I'll do it again.
No, it's fine. We'll just leave
That's
it like
it.
this.
We're done. That's it. We're done.